Welcome to week 4 of Foundations. We are halfway there, woohoo! Getting so close, these 8 weeks fly by. I'd like to quickly review how the last 3 weeks have gone. You guys have all done a fantastic job reflecting based on the readings. I've appreciated in your initial posts that you've been able to cite the readings and compare and contrast some of the readings, in particular this last week when we looked at politics. Many of you expressed your concern for the article in Adams 14 and how you were frustrated that you couldn't believe that something like that would happen. But not only did you just express those feelings, you also cited the articles and pushed others' thinking. And for that, I think it really created some great discussions. I do appreciate your timeliness, getting everything in on time, posting questions, helping each other out. That's what makes online learning successful. So this is a great group. So coming up this week, this is a big week. We don't have a lot of assignments, but what we do have is really critical if you are going into a role in CLDE. What you get to do this week is you get to explore the different CLDE programs that exist. So the different types of modalities that different schools use and that's recommended, as well as the research behind those programs. You also want to look at what elements of those programs you see reflected in your own classroom or elements of the program that you'd like to be able to see. You're going to compare and contrast those programs that you learn about, in particular the Cherry Creek School District's program that we'll have a link to. It's in your to-do list. But Cherry Creek has created, it's about 32 pages, the English Language Acquisition Plan. And they update this, it looks like 2013, and just talks about the purpose for it, but goes through, it's pretty easy to look at the table of contents. The critical part of this, honestly, is the program model and then the instructional practices. I think identification of English language learners is important in assessing, although a lot of that is pretty standard practice in most of the districts. But really looking at the structure of their model and the implications for instructional practices is a good focus to have. So once you've read that, you'll look at comparing and contrasting that as well as some of the readings. So we have a reading from NPR, and it's How Should We Teach English Language Learners? There is a link to that in From the Experts that we're going to talk about as well. And then there's also an Ed Week article, and those will help inform some of that. This learning is really critical. I just made a note down here. It's going to help inform your employment decisions. Maybe where you are has the program that you love. You can see yourself being a CLDE teacher there. But if not, you really have to be knowledgeable about the types of programs that they offer at the school, as well as the environment that you're interested in working in or changing. So something to keep in mind. So the outcomes are you're going to actually apply this model to your actual school. And then you're going to evaluate other models using the program effectiveness research. And that's part of that discussion question. So the readings, like I said, from the experts, that third section in the to-do list, we'll have a link to the NPR article. And then you'll also read Cherry Creek CLDE plan, which is hyperlinked in our to-do. You're going to now read Chapter 3 of that CDE guidebook, as well as the Sparks article that can be found on eReserve, although I just Googled it and it came up. So if you just Google Teaching English Language Learners Spark, the article shows up. But both of the articles are very informative, pretty short. Give yourself about 10 minutes to read through those. Should be good. The assignments this week are twofold. So the first assignment is the discussion question, and that's models in context. And I'll show you very quickly what that's going to look like. So when you go to your to-do list, embedded in the to-do list, and I've just copied and pasted it before into my own document, you can do that. You're going to have monolingual forms of education for bilinguals, and this helps to inform the categories so that you're aware of what categories those are. And then after reviewing the resources, you're also going to compare plans, like I mentioned earlier, to your own. So make sure that you review that chart. The other piece that you guys are going to submit is the Part 1B. So it's your own school's program, and taking a look at that and detailing that. Once you submit it, make sure you submit it in the appropriate Dropbox. I have been giving people feedback as they submit it. So it is very helpful, I think, for everybody if you can go through that. A few people submitted it in the wrong spot, so I'm just going to show you really quick. Under assignments in Dropbox, all of the drafts are going to be at the very bottom. The final project prep. So there's week 2. I had 6 people submit. Week 4, and then we'll just kind of go through that. So you'll see week 4 that we have that due, but there is no other assignment outside of the discussion question. That is it for my update this week. I look forward to working with you, and after this week, we're going to be halfway there. I am so proud of you guys. Great job.